You're listening to BQN. Assimilate the audio.
Welcome to Cinema Z, a film discussion and review podcast on BQN. We're here to showcase the films you probably missed but should definitely check out. From independent and obscure to art house and absurd, each episode will gather, perhaps cocktail in hand, to discuss it all. I'm your host, and with me today, of course, the lovely Matt Jennings. Hey, Matt.
Hey!
We also have a special guest today. Yes, JC is joining us. Hi, JC.
Hi. Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being on. I'm so happy you're here.
So, JC, do you want to sort of fill the audience in on the reason we brought you on today? What skill set are you bringing to the table?
Oh my gosh, besides my obvious great personality, my talent as an actress, my voice. And specifically because we are related, Matt and I were part of the Roby family, and the Roby Theater Company is an organization, a theater nonprofit that is dedicated to developing and producing plays that explore the Black global experience. It was founded in 1994, and then it was incorporated in 1996 by veteran actors Danny Glover and best friend, our leader of the Roby Theater Company, Ben Guillory. It's a community.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. It's a community of artists, creatives, and change makers who believe in the power of theater to inspire, challenge, and connect. There you go.
So cool. And yes, that's why she's here. Not just for her sparkling personality, but also she is an actress as well as Matt. And I am the only non-actor here this week. Well, guys, this week I kind of wanted to flip the script on its head. Typically, we're like, okay, so what movies are you watching? But I did want to ask, is there any audiobooks you're listening to or radio plays that you've had in your ear holes?
Oh, well, I guess this counts, right? There's a new audio drama out to Trekkies called Star Trek Con, which takes place between Star Trek Space Seed, the original series episode, and the movie The Wrath of Khan. It fills in the gap and kind of tells you the story about what is happening to Khan in between that time. I just watched the first episode.
You listened.
Oh, you're right. See, even vocal, like you get used to saying you watch things, right? So I listened to the first audio episode a couple of days ago, and it was really good. So I recommend it.
Wow. I'm sorry, Matt. Matt and Mark, I am not listening to anything right now.
You can cheat. What are you watching?
I fall asleep. But this might count. I fall asleep to the sound of horror movies every night, and that's my audio to go to sleep with.
What did you fall asleep to last night, or what have you recently fallen asleep to?
Oh, well, recently it's been, usually it's like a very scary, the Omen's been great. Oh my God, the 2025 Omen remake of how did the babies become, Omen, the kid. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So that one has coming back. There was another one that I fell asleep on that was Jennifer Lopez, The Cell. Which when I was
I like that
oh my
one.
gosh, which when I was younger I didn't get it, and I was like, and I didn't like it, and I watched it the other day, like listened to it, and I'm like, and it was really, really very interesting, so I'd recommend everybody watching that again. It still looks good. It's held, it's beautiful, and it's Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. I watched it when I was way too young. I remember thinking only memories I have was that it looked like a music video, and that I remember this thing about this guy's kidneys or intestines being rolled around on like a thingy. That's all that I remember.
Yes, and this is like, and then that, it's really very entertaining because you have people screaming in the background, and most everyone would be like, oh, turn that off. But I love to fall asleep on listening to it. I really do. You know, it's don't ask me. It just calms me down and
It's your
puts me to
ambient
bed. Yes. Yes. So, you have screaming and and luckily my pets and everyone here at home are okay with it too. But
They're probably used to it.
that's what I listen to. Yep.
Well, I have also checked out the Con, I guess, audio drama podcast because it was recommended by a number of people, including, our associate producer, Miss Amy Nelson. So I was like, I'm going to check that out and give it a listen. And it did remind me a lot of this type of thing that we're doing today. Like, this is where it all began, before television. People had radios in their houses, and this is where they got their entertainment. And it's funny that something that came about at the turn of the last century is now making a resurgence, and we're starting to hear this stuff. People are listening to books on tape again, and you're getting these audio dramas, and I just think that's really cool. So yeah, I was surprised. There were some surprising moments in that first episode of the Con series. I was just like, oh, this is happening? Oh, okay. So I thought that was cool.
Wow. I have to get into that now with Matt. He's showing me everything Trekkie.
That's fair.
That's a lot of content.
Next
time you'll see me, I'll be like speaking another language.
You'll be speaking Klingon.
Klingon.
All right, guys. Well, this week our listeners are in for a treat. You've probably noticed at this point, listeners, we are having a different episode this week. We are not discussing a film. We are actually, we went way, 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 way back to the vault, and we will be discussing The Hitch-Hiker. It is a radio play written by Lucille Fletcher. It was first presented on November 17th, 1941, on the broadcast of the Orson Welles Show on CBS Radio. Featuring a score written and conducted by Bernard Herrmann, who was Fletcher's first husband. So that is really cool.
Wow.
Awesome-tastic.
I did not want to give a synopsis this week because I'm going to be honest, when I first heard this, I was probably like 12 or 13 years old, and I didn't know what it was. I had no clue. I got a bunch of these tapes of old radio shows and popped it on, had no idea what I was going to be in for. And the unknowing, I think, made it more spooky. So I want for our listeners today to go in blind, so to speak, and hopefully have their spines a little bit more tingled.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, gee.
No pressure.
I want to know, why did you guys want to listen this week?
I mean, I think that this is such a throwback to, also an earlier, I don't want to say an earlier art form, but an earlier form of acting. And I guess it's not necessarily like it's gone away, because obviously you're still using your voice when you're doing animated films. But this is, people started doing this before they would hop over into, the visual medium, before the visual medium became more popular. So it's I don't know. It's a way to work another skill as an actor, but it's also such a throwback to another time period. And even to listen to the opening,
so good.
It's so interesting, and to listen to even the closing. Well, I don't know. Can I share that right now?
Don't give away the finale.
Yeah, not the story, but the closing, when it's the ad for donations for the war effort.
The war effort. Yeah.
It's such a time capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so beautifully done, it's and the acting and the as we're going to be reading the script, it's so great that it works. It's on the paper. It's on, you listen to it, you hear it. That is excellent writing, and it's not that long, So it takes you through this amazing action and story, and it guides you through, and it's really, it's just beautiful. It has a sense to me also of this, like, so highbrow, ooh, let's listen to this radio drama, let's listen to this. It's just, it sounds like such a wonderful time in the past where we were able to come
Hmm.
together, and I'm glad that it continues to evolve like that.
And we may get into this a little bit in trivia. I forgot already, but Lucille Fletcher, she also wrote another piece that was turned into a novel at one point, but it's called "Sorry, Wrong Number," and
Uh-huh.
that starred Agnes Moorehead, who was the mother in Bewitched. Do you guys remember seeing Bewitched?
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, she was the mother in that. But anyway, yeah, she did, I think, all of the original recordings of it for the radio, but also she did it in a play. And I'm not sure if she was in the movie, but they made a movie about it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was the same author. And I just love the fact that, this is a time in history of the world where women were not given a seat at the table. And here is Lucille Fletcher, that her talent was undeniable. And she forced her way in to have a seat at the table, and she won awards for her various plays and books that she wrote. And I think that this, the fact that we're still talking about stuff that she did, 100 years later, is just a testament to, the power of, female voices.
Thank you. Amen.
Okay, guys. Well, I want to give a little bit of background on this piece before we launch into the read today, just so our listeners will know a little bit more of what we're getting into. So, the Mercury Theater was an independent repertory theater company founded in New York City in 1937 by Orson Welles and producer John Houseman. The company produced theatrical presentations, radio programs, and motion pictures. The Mercury also released prompt books and phonographic recordings of 4 Shakespeare works for use in schools. After the series of acclaimed Broadway productions, the Mercury Theater progressed into its most popular incarnation as the Mercury Theater on the Air. The radio series included one of the most notable and infamous radio broadcasts of all times, The War of the Worlds. You guys might have heard of that one. But yes, it was the same production company that did this. That was broadcast on October 30th, 1938. Many of the Mercury players would later appear in Welles' films at RKO, particularly Citizen Kane and The Magnificent Ambersons. I will also point out that RKO Studios was purchased by Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, and that is also where they filmed Star Trek. So it comes full circle. I bet you guys didn't think I'd have a Star Trek tie-in this week, did you?
I mean, we are just we're about after Star Trek Day. Happy Star Trek Day for those who
Happy Star Trek Day.
Star Trek Day.
timing, perfect timing.
I love it.
Well, it's my understanding that for many actors, the theater is one of the best places to hone your craft. So my question for both of you guys before we jump into it is, what is one of your most memorable theater roles and what made it so special?
Oh, Matt, you want to go first, or you want me to
Oh,
go
you
first?
go first.
Okay. Well, this is the pinnacle of my I am an actress moment. I played Belle in The Beauty and the Beast, and it's a musical, and it's but there were moments on that stage where I can remember that were so clear, and I was no longer like me. I was the character, and those moments come in. I mean, those moments, I believe, in Matt, maybe Matt could reassure me here or tell me, but those moments on stage are amazing when you just let the freedom of your artistry and your talent and the trust of what you've done, and you just let it go. And just thinking about it now gives me goosebumps because I can see it in my mind, the lights, the other character, and myself. And it was just like this beautiful moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm an actress. And it took a lot of work, and it was like 2 hours. I never left the stage, but it was a moment like that I know you think, oh, musical Beauty and the Beast, but it was that moment that I had put so much into it that I said, okay, now I do consider myself an actress. Before, I'm like, no, not yet, I can't call myself an actress yet. That moment after I had worked so hard, and yeah, that was the moment that I said, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do. I am an actress now.
I think for me, I would say probably doing Man's Favorite Devil's Plan. That's what we're doing.
Really?
I
Oh,
think so.
yay.
But I say that because that was one of the first times where the directing was a bit more fluid for that production. Normally, when you get something called blocking, which for listeners, if you don't know what blocking is, that's basically your physical direction where you're supposed to be on stage at particular moments throughout your scene, throughout the play. But in regards to the manner of direction that we had, which was Julian White was a great director for that. He wanted the actors to have more nuance in their performances, in their blocking, so everything was a bit more organic, whereas another production might traditionally be more structured. But the way that he directed this, it allowed for more freedom and more nuance on stage. And I think it really changed the way that I approach my work as an actor. So I have to say that really helped me out, and I think gave me a freedom in terms of not being so nailed down to a specific result that has to happen every night when I'm performing, or even when I'm performing on film and I'm doing a take. It shouldn't be the same way every night. It needs to be new and fresh. So.
Wow. And by the way, Matt, I believe, and Mark, Matt won Best Actor for the NAACP award. Am I correct, Matt?
Yes, I did.
Tell us about it, please, if you don't mind.
So without taking up too much time, so there are NAACP Image Awards. There are also NAACP Theater Awards, and for that, my performance in that play, I won Best Lead Male local theater production for the NAACP Theater Awards, which was thanks to the Roby, and just thank you to Julian for that direction and bringing that out of me. So
yeah, wonderful.
Ooh, we have award winners in the house. This is great.
That's right.
Well, I actually have one as well. When I was a kid, I think I've talked about this on the pod multiple times, where I would be involved in the plays and stuff at school and show choir and things like that. But I always sort of held back because I was afraid of putting myself out there and being outed. I was from a small town in northern Maine, so I was like, I just gotta I want to participate, but just not be center stage, And I think maybe the funnest, most freeing experience I had in regard to theater was once I had graduated, and I had also been involved. I throw this out there. I'd also been involved in dance since I was 5 years old. Been on the stage. So I joined a ballet company when I was in college, my freshman year. And of course, we put on the Nutcracker, and we toured around New England and into Canada. And I went to, I think, Montreal, and we performed at this really old theater that was the most beautiful building I've ever been into. I mean, it was like a love letter to theater. I mean, just one of those, the boxes are all ornate and gilded and just so pretty. And thinking about all of the productions and all of the important people that have come and go out of that theater, and just how massive it was. I don't think I'd been on a stage quite that large before. And I remember just the excitement, and like JC was talking about, the lights and things like that. And it was the same for me, just the sets and the costumes and the dressing rooms, and it was all very very professional, but just the amount of joy that was sparked. It's almost like when I entered the stages. I don't know if this is like this for you guys, but when I got onto the stage, it was like I wasn't thinking. It was almost like the character sort of took over, and I was going through the
Yes.
motions, and I was existing within the character, enjoying every moment, eating it up, you
Uh-huh.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
Yeah.
I felt so alive and electric. Yeah.
That's exactly the moment, Mark. That's exactly the moment. It's just you're kind of like watching yourself in the back. It's like your spirit hovers
Mm.
over and sees you and you know what I mean? And you're like,
Mm-hmm.
it's really very, very, I don't know, like if it was a religion, very, like
Yeah,
moment
spiritual.
of yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
it's pretty spiritual.
yes.
Even Ben Guillory, because I know that we've sit in on his acting classes, and he'll if he wants to give direction during a scene, he'll say, "Don't break the spell. I don't want to break the spell, but it's an investment."
Oh, I love that. We got to reuse that at some point.
Yes, yes.
Well, I think I mentioned to you guys that I was introduced to this piece when I was like 13 years old. And, getting those tapes of all the old radio programs really lit a fire under me and got me excited about radio. And I went to actually school for broadcasting because I was going to do either television or radio news reporting. But it was through these early tapes. And so doing this today is like, tipping my hat to that 13-year-old kid that first listened to it, and now, I'm in my 40s, finally getting to be a part of this presentation and share it with the world with my friend Matt here and UJC. So this is exciting. I'm really excited about it. So, listeners, we have discussed casting on this one. There's not really a lot of characters, or at least the characters that we have, they don't have a ton of lines. So, I have beforehand cast this particular episode of Cinema Z, and we will have Matt playing Orson Welles as well as Ronald Adams. So, that's like it would have been if you originally heard it for the original recording. And then Adam's mother, as well as pretty much all the other female characters played by JC. I will carry the weight of like the service station attendant, and I'm also going to do Miss Whitney so that I can have a few more lines. All right.
Who's the voice of the hitchhiker?
Oh, that'll be me too, because it's a male line. He doesn't have much to say. Not to spoil it for the listeners, but he's got very few lines.
And now we're pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Good evening. This is Orson Welles. Personally, I've never met anybody who didn't like a good ghost story. But I know a lot of people who think there are a lot of people who don't like a good ghost story. For the benefit of these, at least, I go on record at the outset of this evening's entertainment with the sober assurance that although blood may be curdled on this program, none will be spilt. There's no shooting, knifing, throttling, axing, or poisoning here. No clinking chains, no cobwebs, no bony and or hairy hands appearing from secret panels, or better yet, bedroom curtains. If it's any part of that dear old phosphorescent foolishness that people who don't like ghost stories don't like, then again, I promise you, we haven't got it. What we do have is a thriller. If it's half as good as we think it is, you can call it a shocker. And we present it proudly and without apologies. After all, a story doesn't have to appeal to the heart. It can also appeal to the spine. Sometimes you want your heart to be warmed. Sometimes you want your spine to tingle. The tingling, it's to be hoped, will be quite audible as you listen tonight to The Hitch-Hiker. That's the name of our story, The Hitch-Hiker.
Action.
I'm in an auto camp on Route 66, just west of Gallup, New Mexico. If I tell it, perhaps it will help me. It will keep me from going mad. But I must tell this quickly. I'm not mad now. I feel perfectly well, except that I am running a slight temperature. My name is Ronald Adams. I am 36 years of age, unmarried, tall, dark, with a black mustache. I drive a 1940 Ford V8 license number 6V7989. I was born in Brooklyn. All this I know. I know that I am at this moment perfectly sane. That is not I who has gone mad, but something else, something utterly beyond my control. But it must be quickly. At any moment the link with life may break. This may be the last thing I ever tell on earth. The last night I ever see the stars. 6 days ago, I left Brooklyn to drive to California.
Goodbye, son. Good luck to you, my boy.
Goodbye, Mother. Here, give me a kiss, and then I'll go.
I'll come out with you to the car.
No, it's raining. Stay here at the door. Hey, what's this? Tears? I thought you promised me you wouldn't cry.
I know, dear. I'm sorry, but I do hate to see you go.
I'll be back. I'll only be on the coast 3 months.
Oh, it isn't that. It's just the trip. Ronald, I wish you weren't driving.
Oh, Mother, there you go again. People do it every day.
I know, but you'll be careful, won't ya? Promise me you'll be extra careful. Don't fall asleep, or drive fast, or pick up any strangers on the road.
Of course not. You think I was still 17 to hear you talk like that?
And wire me as soon as you get to Hollywood, won't you, son?
Of course I will. Now, don't you worry. There isn't anything going to happen. It's just 8 days of perfectly simple driving on smooth, decent, civilized roads with a hot dog or a hamburger stand every 10 miles. I was in excellent spirits. The drive ahead of me, even the loneliness, seemed like a lark. But I reckoned without him. Crossing Brooklyn Bridge that morning in the rain, I saw a man leaning against the cables. He seemed to be waiting for a lift. There were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. He was carrying a cheap overnight bag in one hand. He was thin, nondescript, with a cap pulled down over his eyes. He stepped off the walk, and if I hadn't swerved, I'd have hit him. I would have forgotten him completely, except that just an hour later, while crossing the Pulaski Skyway over the Jersey Flats, I saw him again. At least he looked like the same person. He was standing now, with one thumb pointing west. I couldn't figure out how he'd got there, but I thought probably one of those fast trucks had picked him up, beaten me to the Skyway, and let him off. I didn't stop for him. Then, late that night, I saw him again. I was on the New Pennsylvania Turnpike between Harrisburg and Pittsburgh. It's 265 miles long with a very high speed limit. I was just slowing down for one of the tunnels. I saw him, standing under an arc light by the side of the road. I could see him quite distinctly. The bag capped, even the spots of fresh rain spattered over his shoulders. He hailed me this time.
Hello? Hello?
I stepped on the gas and I shot. It's lonely country through the Alleghenies, and I had no intention of stopping. Besides, the coincidence, whatever it was, gave me the willies. I stopped at the next gas station.
Yes, sir?
Fill her up.
Certainly, sir. Check your oil, sir?
No thanks.
Nice night, isn't it?
Yes, it hasn't been raining here recently, has it?
Not a drop of rain all week.
Suppose that hasn't done your business any harm.
Oh, people drive here through all kinds of weather. Mostly business, you know. There ain't many pleasure cars out here on the turnpike this season of the year.
I suppose not. What about hitchhikers?
Hitchhikers? Here?
What's the matter? Don't you ever see any?
Not much. If we did, it'd be a sight for sore eyes.
Why?
A guy'd be a fool who started out hitch rides on this road. Look at it. It's 265 miles long. There's practically no speed limit, and it's a straightway. Now, what car is going to stop and pick up a guy under those conditions? Would you stop?
No. Then you've never seen anybody.
Nope. Maybe they get the lift right before the turnpike starts. I mean, just before the toll house. But then it'd be a mighty long ride. Most cars wouldn't want to pick up a guy for that long a ride. You know, it's pretty lonesome country out here. Mountains and woods. You ain't seen nobody like that, have you?
No. Oh, no, not at all. It was just a technical question.
I see. Well, that'll be just $1.49 with tax.
The thing gradually passed from my mind. It's sheer coincidence. I had a good night's sleep in Pittsburgh. I did not think about the man all next day, until just outside of Zanesville, Ohio. I saw him again. It was a bright, sunshiny afternoon. The peaceful Ohio fields, brown with the autumn stubble, lay dreaming in the golden light. I was driving slowly, drinking it in, when the road suddenly ended in a detour in front of the barrier. He was standing. Now, let me explain about his appearance before I go on. I repeat, there was nothing sinister about him. He was as drab as a mud fence. Nor was his attitude menacing. He merely stood there, waiting, almost drooping a little, the cheap overnight bag in his hand. He looked as though he had been waiting there for hours. Then he looked up. He hailed me. He started to walk forward.
Hello! Hello!
I had stopped the car, of course, for the detour, and for a few moments I couldn't seem to find the new road. I knew he must be thinking that I had stopped for him.
Hello! Hello! Hello!
No, not just now, sorry.
Going to California?
No, not today, the other way, going to New York. Sorry. After I got the car back onto the road again, I felt like a fool. Yet the thought of picking him up, of having him sit beside me, was somehow unbearable. Yet at the same time, I felt more than ever unspeakably alone. Hour after hour went by. The fields, the towns ticked off, one by one. The lights changed. I knew now that I was going to see him again. And though I dreaded the sight, I caught myself searching the side of the road, waiting for him to appear.
Yep. What is it? What do you want?
You sell sandwiches and pop here, don't you?
Yep, we do. During the daytime. We're closed up for the night.
I know, but I was wondering if you could possibly let me have a cup of coffee? Black
Not this time of night, mister. My wife's a cook and she's in bed. Maybe further down the road. Honeysuckle rest stop.
No, don't shut the door. Listen, just a minute ago, there was a man standing here, right beside this stand, a suspicious-looking man.
Henry! Who is it, Henry?
It's nobody, Mother. This feller thinks he wants a cup of coffee. Go back to bed.
I don't mean to disturb you, but see, I was driving along when I just happened to look, and there he was.
What was he doing?
Nothing. He ran off when I stopped the car.
And what of it? There's nothing to wake a man in the middle of the night to sleep about. Young man, I've got a mind to turn you over to the sheriff.
But
You've been taking a nip. That's what you've been doing. And you haven't got anything better to do than waking decent folk up out of their hard-earned sleep. Get going. Go on now.
But he looked as though he were going to rob you.
I ain't got nothing in this stand to lose. Now on your way before I call Sheriff Oakes.
I got into the car again and drove on slowly. I was beginning to hate the car. But if I had found a place to stop, to rest a little, but I was in the Ozark Mountains of Missouri now. The few resort places were closed. Only an occasional log cabin, seemingly deserted, broke the monotony of the wild, wooded landscape. I had seen him at the roadside stand. I knew I would see him again, perhaps at the next turn of the road. I knew that when I saw him next, I would run him down. I did not see him again till late next afternoon. I'd stopped the car at a sleepy little junction just across the border into Oklahoma to let a train pass by, when he appeared across the tracks leaning against a telephone pole. It was a perfectly airless, dry day. The red clay of Oklahoma was baking under the southwestern sun, yet there were spots of fresh rain on his shoulders. I couldn't stand that without thinking blindly. I started the car across the tracks. He didn't even look up at me. He was just staring at the ground. I stepped on the gas, hard, veering the wheel sharply toward him. I could hear the train in the distance now, but I didn't care. Then something went wrong with the car. It stalled right on the tracks. The train was coming closer. I could hear its bell ringing and the cry of its whistle. Still, he stood there, and now I knew that he was beckoning me to my death. Well, I frustrated him at that time. The stare had worked at least. He managed to back up, but when the train passed, he was gone. I was all alone on the hot, dry afternoon. After that, I knew I had to do something. I didn't know who this man was or what he wanted. I only knew that from now on, I must not let myself be alone on the road for one moment. Hello there. Like a ride?
Hello, there. What do you think? How far are you going?
Amarillo. I'll take you to Amarillo.
Amarillo, Texas?
I'll drive you there.
Gee, mind if I take off my shoes? My dogs are killing me.
Go right ahead.
Gee, what a break this is. A swell car. Oh, a decent guy, and driving all the way to Amarillo? All I've been getting so far is trucks.
Hitchhike much?
Sure, it's only tough sometimes in these great open spaces to get the breaks.
I should think it would be. Though I bet if you get a good pickup in a fast car, you can get places faster than, say, another person in another car.
I don't get you.
Well, take for instance, suppose I'm driving across the country, say at a nice steady clip of about 45 miles an hour. Couldn't get a girl like you just standing beside the road waiting for lifts, beat me town after town, provided she got picked up every time in a car doing from 65 to 70 miles an hour.
I don't know. Maybe she could, and maybe she couldn't. What difference does it make?
Oh, no difference. Just a crazy idea I had sitting here in the car.
Imagine spending your time in a swell car thinking of things like that.
What would you do instead?
What would I do? If I was a good-looking fella like yourself, why, I'd just enjoy myself every minute of time. I'd sit back and relax, and if I saw a good-looking girl along the side of the road, hey, look out!
Did you see him too?
See who?
That man, standing beside the barbed wire fence.
I didn't see anybody. There wasn't nothing but a bunch of steers, the barbed wire fence. What did you think he was doing? Trying to run into the barbed wire fence?
There was a man there, I tell you, a thin, gray man with an overnight bag in his hand, and I was trying to run him down.
Run him down? You mean kill him?
He's a sort of phantom. I'm trying to get rid of him, or else prove that he's real, but you say you didn't see him back there? You sure?
I didn't see a soul. And as far as that's concerned, mister...
Watch for him next time, then. Keep watching. Keep your eyes peeled on the road. He'll turn up again. Maybe any minute now. There. Look there.
How does this door work? I'm getting out of here.
Did you see him that time?
No, I didn't see him that time. And personally, mister, I don't expect never to see him. All I want to do is to go on living, and I don't see how I will be very long driving with you.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please don't go.
So, if you'll excuse me, mister.
You can't go. Listen, how would you like to go to California? I'll drive you to California.
Seeing pink elephants all the way? No thanks.
I could get you a job there. You wouldn't have to be a waitress. I have friends there. My name is Ronald Adams. You can check up.
Thanks, just the same.
Listen, please, just for 1 minute. Maybe you think I'm half cracked, but this man, you see, I've been seeing this man all the way across the country. He's been following me, and if you could only help me, stay with me until I reach the coast.
You know what I think you need, big boy. Not a girlfriend, just a dose of sleep. There, I got it now.
No, you can't go.
Leave your hands off me. Do you hear? Leave your...
Come back here, please, come back. She ran from me, as though I were a monster. A few minutes later, I saw a passing truck pick her up. I knew then that I was utterly alone. I was in the heart of the great Texas prairies. There wasn't a car on the road after the truck went by. I tried to figure out what to do, how to get hold of myself. If I could find a place to rest, or even if I could sleep right there in the car for a few hours along the side of the road. I was getting my winter overcoat out of the back seat to use as a blanket.
Hello.
When I saw him coming toward me.
Hello.
Emerging from the herd of moving steer.
Hello. Hello.
I didn't wait for him to come any closer. Perhaps I should have spoken to him then, fought it out then and there. For now, he began to be everywhere. Whenever I stopped, even for a moment, for gas, for oil, for a drink of pop, a cup of coffee, a sandwich, he was there. I saw him standing outside the auto camp in Amarillo that night. When I dared to slow down, he was sitting near the drinking fountain in a little camping spot just inside the border of New Mexico. He was waiting for me outside the Navajo reservation when I stopped to check my tires. I saw him in Albuquerque where I bought 12 gallons of gas. I was afraid now, afraid to stop. I began to drive faster and faster. I was in a lunar landscape now, the great arid mesa country of New Mexico. I drove through it with the indifference of a fly crawling over the face of the moon. But now, he didn't even wait for me to stop. Unless I drove at 85 miles an hour over those endless roads, he waited for me at every other mile. I would see his figure shadowless, flitting before me, still in its same attitude over the cold and lifeless ground, flitting over dried-up rivers, over broken stone cast up by old glacial upheavals, flitting in the pure and cloudless air. I was beside myself when I finally reached Gallup, New Mexico, this morning. There was an auto camp here, cold, almost deserted at this time of year. I went inside and asked if there was a telephone. I had the feeling that if only I could speak to someone familiar, someone I had loved, I could pull myself together.
Number, please.
Long distance.
Thank you. This is long distance.
I'd like to put in a call to my home in Brooklyn, New York. I'm Ronald Adams. The number is Beechwood 2-0828.
Thank you. What is your number?
312.
Albuquerque,
New York for Gallup.
New York.
Gallup, New Mexico. Calling Beechwood 2-0828. I had read somewhere that love could banish demons. It was the middle of the morning. I knew my mother would be home. I pictured her, tall, white-haired in her crisp house dress, going about her tasks. It would be enough, I thought, merely to hear the even calmness of her voice.
Will you please deposit $3.85 for the first 3 minutes? When you have deposited $1.50, will you wait until I have collected the money? All right. Deposit another $1.50. Will you please deposit the remaining 85 cents? Ready with Brooklyn. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Mrs. Adams' residence.
Hello. Hello, Mother.
This is Mrs. Adams' residence. Who is it you wish to speak to?
Why? Who's this?
This is Mrs. Whitney.
Mrs. Whitney. I don't know any Mrs. Whitney. Is this Beechwood 2-0828?
Yes.
Where's my mother? Where's Mrs. Adams?
Mrs. Adams is not at home. She's still in the hospital.
Hospital?
Yes. Who is this calling, please? Is it a member of the family?
What's she in the hospital for?
She's been prostrated for 5 days. Nervous breakdown. Who is this calling?
Nervous breakdown, but my mother was nervous.
It's all taken place since the death of her oldest son, Ronald.
Death of her oldest son, Ronald. Hey, what is this? What number is this?
This is Beechwood 2-0828. It's all very sudden. He was killed just 6 days ago in an automobile accident on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Your 3 minutes are up, sir. Sir, your 3 minutes are up. Your 3 minutes are up, sir.
And so, I'm sitting here in this deserted auto camp in Gallup, New Mexico. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get a hold of myself, otherwise I shall go mad. Outside it is night, the vast, soulless night of New Mexico. A million stars are in the sky. Ahead of me a stretch 1,000 miles of empty mesa mountains, prairies, deserts. Somewhere among them he is waiting for me. Somewhere I shall know who he is and who I am.
Cut.
Whoa.
Oh, Matt. Wow.
That was
Thank
fun.
you.
That's
Thank you.
JC, you too. Thank you so much. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
you.
What fun. Yay.
Totally. I love it.
Well, I want to ask you guys, coming out of that, were you surprised by the ending when you first heard it?
I was.
So I kept thinking about the idea of purgatory and the idea of insanity being, repeating something over and over again, expecting a different result. And I think I've heard somewhere that purgatory is a time loop where it's just the same thing happening over and over and over again. I hope I didn't make that up, but that's what I was thinking of here.
While you were listening?
While I was listening, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, like, when I got towards the end of it, I was
Yeah.
because there was, clearly a supernatural,
Hmm.
at least to me, some kind of supernatural quality to it.
Yeah.
So the fact that he just kept seeing this man, this image on the road, I was like, the repetition says something. Also, being a sci-fi person, I thought, it could be a temporal paradox. That's
It
the
was aliens. It was the ancient aliens.
oh no, that's
It's interesting that you're calling it purgatory, Matt.
that's what popped up in my head was purgatory.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking that as you're doing things repeatedly over the same, it seems like to me our daily life is like that. Maybe our daily life is purgatory.
Oh, that's deep.
Well,
we wake up in the morning, we do it again the next day, coffee, work, home, blah, blah, blah. Then we go to sleep, we wake up the next morning, coffee,
yeah.
True story. I don't even remember what maybe 13-year-old me thought of when I listened to it for the first time. At that age, I don't think that I saw the twist coming at the very end. And I think it caught me off guard. That's what I can imagine anyway. For me, not knowing what's happening, and even like now, like having listened to it hundreds of times at this point over the years, there's something poetic, I think, about the writing. Lucille Fletcher's writing is something poetic. And it's like almost like this long spoken word poem that's also dark and creepy and perplexing. And even though I've heard the ending hundreds of times, it still makes me think.
There's an Edgar Allan Poe to this as well. There's some Edgar Allan Poe poems to this piece too. When I think about the writing, and
it makes me want to go back again and read it again, because it's like, that she put in little hints here and there, and you're like, where are those little hints, right? But it is great writing. It's just really, it's all on the page and it walks you through.
Well, guys, this brings us to rewrites. So typically, this is what we would talk about if we were making the production ourselves. So I want to actually make it a little bit more complicated this week. So I want to say, if you were rewriting this for any medium, whether it was radio or television or movies or whatever, is there something about it that you would change, maybe to update it for modern audiences, or would you kind of leave it as is? This is a question that I had for myself when even, thinking about doing it this week as a play. I had talked to Matt about this months and months ago about, would I leave the script the way that Lucille wrote it, or would I update it and make it like cell phones and, things like that? I had no idea, but I decided at the end of the day, the text that spoke with me, the whole reason I wanted to do it was for the original text. So that's what we went with. But if you guys were to update it or change something about it, what would that be?
Good question. I'm not sure if I would change it. I like the way it is. And even taking us back to that time where we did have to get our phones or, collect. That in itself is kind of funny. Put in the 85 cents. You
I
know,
kept thinking about how much money those phone calls cost. When she was like $3 and something, I was like, "That's an expensive phone call,
Yeah,
even
even
was
today."
today.
that was more than gas because remember he gets gas at the
That's
beginning,
right. Yeah.
like $1.85 or something. So I don't know if I would change any. I would just make it longer. I feel like it's 14. It's 7, probably 10 pages or something.
Yeah.
Make it longer because I was like, wait, maybe he goes back to his house and he's like, no, I'm still alive. Or the ghost
Yeah.
goes
Yeah.
back. Oh, is he the ghost then? Is he the hitcher?
You don't know.
That's what I was thinking too. And that was my first thought when he saw him twice. I'm like, he's the hitcher. Problem solved. I think for me, if I were to change anything, I'm just thinking if I were to update it and turn it into a movie. I like the idea of it being a psychological thriller because I think what this piece really plays off of is your imagery and you feeling, you painting the picture yourself of
Mm-hmm.
constantly seeing this person pop up over and over again. So I think if I were to turn it into a film, I think it would be a psychological thriller. I don't think that I would do anything big budget and make it like a creepy monster or have some sort of, I don't know, over the top masturbatory element to it to force it to be scary. I think the more simple the story would be, I think the scarier it is. But that's all that I have. That's all that I can think of. That's where I would start.
Yeah. I think that if I were to rewrite this, I would just include more black characters. That was a joke. I was actually kidding because it's an audio drama. You don't know. They could be anybody. But no, to be serious, I like what JC wrote or said about making it a little bit longer. I agree. Like when I re-listened before the pod, and I was thinking about, I was toying with the idea of actually doing a double feature this week and maybe doing also Sorry Wrong Number. But then at the end of the day, I decided, I'm just gonna leave this as is. We'll cover this one, maybe down the road do the other one. But yeah, it isn't very long, and I was worried about how much time it would take up and how much time we'd have for discussion. I'm like, it's kind of a small piece. It's only maybe like 20 minutes of reading. So
It's not even.
yeah,
because the whole thing that you gave us is 14 pages, and part
yeah,
3 or 4 of those pages are instructions and pictures.
it's true.
Which I love, by the way. Thank you for sharing that because
Yeah.
it is a good way to teach younger children about this
Mhm.
stuff in history. Yeah, but you were saying you wanted a little bit longer, Mark.
Yeah. Interestingly, when I was considering the double feature, I noticed something because I had sent Matt Sorry Wrong Number as well, which is also Lucille's work. And whereas the Hitch-Hiker is mostly the male perspective and mostly like male characters, Sorry Wrong Number is the total opposite. It is only a woman speaking pretty much the entire time, and sometimes with other women, and then occasionally there's some sprinkled in some men. So had we done that as well, JC, that just would have been that would have been your whole production, and it can still be if we end up doing that down the road. But yeah, I just found that really interesting that it is almost like a bookend of this one. It's like the opposite, but complementary equal.
I love that. And in fact, I'm going to probably listen to it next now that you brought it up.
Oh, it's so good and so spooky. Like this too. It's spooky.
I just love that she's a woman. And like you said, at
Yeah.
that time, you really didn't have a room at the table. And she made herself, she
Yeah.
pushed herself in there with her talent. So
Mhm.
I love that. I love the fact that, that she wrote this male-driven story very, very well. I mean, I thought the Adams character was really fully developed and who he was. We gave a clear, really right from the front, from the get, this guy who is a well put together guy, ready to do things, he knows what he's doing. So I love that, that a female is able to really portray that really well, even, and it translates even today. so
Yeah.
many decades later.
Well, this is a great opportunity for us to jump into standouts. So, there's something you would like to mention that haven't previously been covered in the discussion that you think was positive about this piece. What would that be?
I don't know if I mentioned this or this already, but the Roby Theater Company also goes into grammar schools to show and teach acting to younger kids, and the fact that this is such a clean copy of and it's some characters, it's not that really crazy difficult. It's a really good play to have kids enjoy it.
Oh, absolutely. I think kids
You
would
know?
eat this up. Yeah.
Yes. And even at the end they'll be like, what? Did they understand what happened? Did they not? And there's many characters that any kid could be like, oh yeah, I want to be the operator. So, and it's so difficult. It was the most difficult thing that I found, trying to find a copy of a play so that kids could do. Well, that was the most difficult thing. This is perfect. So you've really opened up my mind to maybe next time grabbing something like this, and historically really and that this is really across all ages.
Mm-hmm.
But they did make it family at that time, right? It was the time where the family got together and sat around the
Yeah,
radio.
you got it.
Yeah.
The best thing is we're able to get away with this production today without getting sued because this is all public domain.
Thank
Yay!
you.
I think for me a standout is Bernard Herrmann, the composer. His score is just haunting. I love the sound of it, just the music, really, from the opening to like the closing and everything in between. It wrapped you up in this creepy yet warm blanket. And so, yeah, I gotta say that the soundtrack I thought was a standout for me.
It's very motion picture sounding. It's like a movie.
I think for me, the standout, I know I already said it before, but for me, the standout, again, is just the kind of ominousness and the simplicity of it just being this man on the road, seeing this other man continually and not knowing why. And your imagination doing the work of filling in the blanks. I think this piece does a great job doing a lot with very little.
I think that Jordan Peele does that with his films, if I'm going to be honest, because when we did Nope a while back, and it wasn't, that could have very easily almost been done on a play, on a stage. I mean, it's very simple. Like there wasn't this giant monster. It was like a cloud, and like a lot of it was like just the dialogue between the brother and the sister. I don't know. I think his movies have that sort of old school Twilight Zone-y. You start with the plot,
yes,
and the characters, and that is what you build everything else around, really. And that's what he does.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think even sometimes in the aesthetic choices that he makes, because when I think of Nope, I think of, obviously the alien creature that has that kite balloon-ish look. But even back in the 40s and 50s, when people would claim they saw a UFO, someone would say, no, it was just a weather balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a cloud. Yeah.
Like that makes me, the choice to make the alien in that movie look that way even made me think of the weather balloon excuse.
How long could we have? Well, it's out there. They exist, right? The government said so.
They did. I like that no one was fazed when we found that out. I think
You're like,
everyone was like, we knew. We knew. We've
like,
been...
why? Why are they freaking out now about it? Like, why?
Well, guys, that brings us on to trivia. And as usual, I thought we'll just take turns going down the list. Lucille Fletcher wrote The Hitch-Hiker for Orson Welles in the days when he was one of the master producers and actors in radio.
The music for The Hitch-Hiker, called one of Herman's most chilling scores by biographer Stephen C. Smith, was used in all 4 radio presentations. It was also re-recorded as stock music that can be heard, usually uncredited, on the soundtracks of several CBS television series, including the 1960s Twilight Zone adaptation of The Hitch-Hiker.
Mm-hmm. From 1934 to 1939, Lucille Fletcher worked as a music librarian, copyright clerk, and publicity writer at CBS. There she met her future husband, composer Bernard Herrmann, who conducted the CBS orchestra.
Fletcher's greatest success, Sorry Wrong Number, premiered on May 25th, 1943 as an episode of the radio series Suspense. Agnes Moorehead created the role in the first performance and again in several later radio productions. It was broadcast nationwide several times between 1943 and 1948.
Rod Serling adapted The Hitch-Hiker for the first season of his television anthology series, The Twilight Zone, for an episode originally broadcast on January 22nd, 1960. Serling's version mostly kept to the radio show plot with a few exceptions, most notably changing the driver to a young woman named Nan Adams, portrayed by Inger Stevens, and moving the fatal accident at the beginning of the story from the Brooklyn Bridge to a dusty road in rural Pennsylvania. Also, yay for making a woman.
Yeah, very cool and very progressive of Rod Serling.
Yeah, The Hitch-Hiker was first performed by Orson Welles on the November 17, 1941 broadcast of the Orson Welles Show on CBS Radio. Welles also performed the radio play on Suspense, September 2nd, 1942, the Philip Morris Playhouse, October 16, 1942, and the Mercury Summer Theater of the Air, June 21, 1946.
This was just funny, but in 2020, a fragment of Wells' radio broadcast was sampled by hip-hop and R&B artist Logic to be part of the first track of his studio album, No Pressure.
Wow.
Isn't that just a weird tie-in? I love it. Well, guys, now it's time for final thoughts. And typically we give out 1 to 5 something or others. And this week I thought, well, I thought about it a lot because I couldn't figure out what we should give out. And I finally landed on gallons of gas because he has to keep stopping along the way for gas. So how many out of 1 to 5 gallons of gas are you going to give this particular, I guess, radio show?
I'm going to give it a 5, just because this will never be done the same way ever again. And this is a special moment. Number 5.
I am also going to give it, I'm giving it a 5 as well. 5 gallons of gas.
Ron Adams is going to end up with a full tank because I will give it 5 as well. Like I said, it definitely inspired me over the years creatively on so many different levels. And it's funny that something that I first listened to as a 13-year-old boy, I can still listen to in my 40s and be just awed by, and that's a testament, like I said at the beginning, to Lucille Fletcher and her writing, to Bernard Herrmann and his score, and to Orson Welles and his acting, and putting it all together. So it was great. It's very different for us to not be doing a film, but I'm
Calling
glad.
all audiophiles and Trekkies. Prepare to boldly go where no podcast listener has gone before with the diverse soundscapes of BQN. We're not just a network, we're a universe of exploration, entertainment, and deep dives into the topics you love. Here's your star map to the sonic adventures awaiting you. Charting the Star Trek cosmos, we have all good things. Embark on a comprehensive journey through the entire Star Trek universe with insightful crew of Amy, Christos, Kelvin, and Kristen. From classic to current, they cover it all. Galaxy Class, Engage. Stephen and Stefan pilots this deep space mission, meticulously covering all aspects of Star Trek The Next Generation. Infinite Diversity. Stay current with the newest Star Trek frontiers alongside Chrissy and Thad. Union Federation. Whether your allegiances lies with Starfleet or the Planetary Union, Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley offer a unified front discussing both current Star Trek and the truly Trek at heart, the Orville. Crack open that book with Peter and the Trek Book Club podcast. Delve into the rich tapestry of Star Trek's beta canon. What's the T-Bab? Christos spills the latest Trek news and fandom insights with an essential LGBTQIA+ perspective, complete with engaging guest interviews. Our visual voyages that you can find on YouTube as well as a podcast are Trexperts Quiz. Think you're a Starfleet Academy graduate? Test your knowledge with Davey and MC's challenging Star Trek quiz show. And the View Screen. Tune in live on Sundays for your dose of Trek-inspired talk show. Calvin and Amy host new 8-week seasons each spring and fall. Beyond the final frontier, we have Bargain Bin Gamer. Davey and Mitch, your self-proclaimed gamer guides, lead you to digital treasures, unearthing and reviewing the most affordable video game gems. Cinema Z. Grab your metaphorical popcorn for Mark and Matt's cinematic deep dives, unearthing overlooked films that demand your attention. History with the Szilagys. In order to never repeat it, tune in as Chrissy and Jason deliver bite-sized snippets of historical events from around the globe. And Transformational Journeys. Lex Rosa explores what it means to embrace authenticity in the face of societal expectations. To unlock deeper levels of engagement, try our patron perks. The Hive Mind is where you can join our random script readings, live reaction shows, and roundtable discussions. And check out our back catalog of It's Green, a verdant cornucopia of topics offering diverse and engaging conversations, and Amy's Math Moments. Discover the subtle and not so subtle mathematical wonders woven into the fabric of Star Trek. You can stay connected to our ever-expanding galaxy of content by following at BQN Podcasts on Instagram, BlueSky, YouTube, and Discord. We appreciate you choosing BQN to fill your auditory needs. Thank you for listening. Assimilate the audio.
Well, Matt, it's your pick next week. So what are we going to be listening to and or watching?
We are going to be listening to and or watching The Blackening.
Yes.
This film was released in theaters in 2022. It is an American black horror comedy directed by Tim Story and written by Tracy Oliver and Dwayne Perkins. The story goes, 7 friends go away for the weekend and end up trapped in a cabin with a killer who has a vendetta. He uses a board game to quiz their knowledge of Black American culture and pop culture with fatal consequences.
That sounds great, to be honest. I haven't seen it, but I'm like, wow, I love the premise. That is awesome.
It is great. I never thought that I could see satire of the Black experience and Black American culture used in this way and used in this genre of a film. So normally I don't do horror films, but this one got me right away. So I'm really excited to share it.
Well, it's kind of a comedy too, right? You said?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we would love to hear what you thought of today's episode and hope you'll join our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, to continue the discussion there. You can also skeet your thoughts at CinemaZPod on BlueSky and let us know if you'd like to recommend a film. You can follow the network on BlueSky and Instagram at BQN Podcasts. Don't forget, you can join the conversation with the BQN hosts and fellow listeners on our Discord server. Just reach out to any of the hosts and we will send you a link. So, JC, where can people find you when you are not using your feminine wilds to pick up rides down dusty dirt highways?
Well, I'm using my feminine wiles for this comedy, actually at the Roby Theater Company this fall. Starts October 11th through November 9th. It's a period piece set in 1726 France. And it takes place. It's another satire. Really takes fun about the French and their love and their love for love and what they look like. It's really great and beautiful and it's fun. And I hope everybody can come watch it because we all need a little bit of fun in our lives to re-energize us from all the stuff that's happening out there. So this is a comedy.
Absolutely.
Yes, and so you could please go to the robytheatercompany.org. It's called The Great Lover by Alexandre Dumas, who also wrote Monte Count The Three Musketeers.
Wow.
What people don't know it was that he was black, descendant from black Haitian father.
No
and
shit.
Yes, and the fact that again, he was really a wonderful, wonderful playwright at the time. So it's, again, we're trying to focus on, Black history. So this is a wonderful way to support the history as well. Matt, where can people find you when you're not trying to die a long distance on a long, old phone?
Oh, man. Well, when I'm not trying to do that, you can find me on Instagram and BlueSky and Threads at 1701BLERD. I made my web series. I say it all the time. It is a series about a black queer nerd that sees his life like a Star Trek episode. I have written all of my season 2, and so now I'm in pre-production, and I'm going to get my GoFundMe page together so I can start fundraising. So please check that out. Mark, where can people find you when you are not consistently playing multiple characters, turning away for some random made-up reason? I'm convinced that they're just all related, and they just all called it and said, hey, this really weird guy came over. Find a reason to close your shop, close your gas station, close your convenience store.
How do I find kids? No, this is a callback because Matt, oh my god, I usually give him such crap for picking scenes where I have to play like a dozen characters, and this time I literally did it to myself, so I have nobody to blame.
It hurts, doesn't it? Good. I hope it hurts.
Stings. Oh my word. Okay, well, when I'm not playing a dozen characters in the same piece, you guys can find me on BlueSky at MW207 and on Flashes also same handle. So Flashes is BlueSky's version of Instagram, so I have photos there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I avoid other places because there's just too much negative energy in the world. So
I agree.
Yeah, I like my little oasis on BlueSky. Well, please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review that helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcast with our master feed by searching BQN.
At this time, we would like to thank our associate producer, Amy Nelson. And special thanks to Laz Marquez for our original show art. The opening and closing music for this podcast is titled Dancing Dead and was provided by Ketsa from the Free Music Archive, providing royalty-free music for content creators.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. We will add you to the Hive Mind Facebook group so you can enjoy It's Green, Amy's Math Moments, and other network perks. With a monthly subscription of $5 or more, you can join our meetings on the Hive Mind Roundtable discussion on the second Saturday of each month. Visit patreon.com/B as in boy, Q as in quiz, N as in nerd to get all the details and watch your messages.
Thank you for listening.
We love you and see you next Saturday.
I'm Morgan Freeman. If you donate just 10 cents out of every dollar, you can help the war effort. Uncle Sam needs you. Good night.
It's sexy. It's provocative. It's theater.
Theater.
And I stole that from Matt.
I love it.